I think there was a theory that they couldn't drag out this process any longer, that they didn't want to have Kahn and Salihamidžić celebrating and already knowing that they would be fired, but it wasn't official, and sort of playing a game and acting as if everything was okay, and then firing them on Tuesday. So they put everything forward to this week. They had these talks saying, you know what, we're not going to go on with you. It worked with Salihamidžić, who accepted the decision and who decided, okay, I'm going to be staying on the good side of the new or old bosses and just go along and celebrate and try my best. Kahn did not take the news nearly as well. There was a bit of a shouting match going on, and he was told to stay home. And then we had a very strange moment where the club seemed to tell reporters he's home because of a flu. And then he contradicted them on Twitter. And then he wrote, wasn't allowed to come. And then somebody said, oh, this is because the doctor told him not to come. And then he sent a second tweet saying, no, it was the club who told me not to come. And this ping pong has continued since the final whistle, where he said it was the worst day of my life. And he contradicted some of the things that Herbert Heiner, the chairman, said at the press conference. Yeah, I mean, not great. As Thomas Tuchel said, it's a political subject that overshadows the celebrations, that moves on the agenda from what should have been just an incredible story of a comeback. I think for the team they didn't really care that much. I had a sense, and that's normal and good. But I think for supporters, it made things very bittersweet. And it left a bit of a bad taste in the mouth, because the club has looked once again not fully in control of its own decision-making process, to put it very charitably. And it doesn't reflect well on this institution of Bayern, which, yes, is always ruthless, but try at least have tried in the past to do things in as you said, in a classy manner. It certainly didn't work this season with everything they did, from the way that Nagelsmann found out in the press about his dismissal to now this news breaking within seconds of Bayern winning the unexpected 11th consecutive championship.
When we look at these decisions, I think most people would agree that it was right to fire Oliver Kahn, because there seemed to be, and Herbert Heiner was saying this in a press conference on Sunday, there seemed to be a sense within this club that it, under the leadership of Oliver Kahn, it was going too much towards a direction of a company. Let's put it like this, and changing the tone, losing the family thing that was always around Bayern, even though it's a big club with a huge turnover and in fact is a company, but there was also always a different sense what Bayern is. So would you agree that the decision was right, and would you also agree with what I was thinking? They shouldn't have fired Salihamidžić. Yes, things were going wrong in a way. They had made mistakes. Obviously, the team was not put together well. But was it necessary to fire him?
It's open to debate. First of all, on Kahn, I think you're right. There had been some doubts about the way he leads the club for quite a while. And I see this season, I don't want to say as an excuse, but as an opportunity to actually make that decision, because in recent years, Bayern have been successful. They won the Champions League. They had a okay-ish season last year, winning at least the league with no problems. But this year, the people in the back, and especially Uli Hoeneß, who is still the most powerful figure in the club, I think felt that this was a good opportunity to put the knife in. I think with Salihamidžić, it's a more political situation. I think Salihamidžić probably became the pawn that needed to be sacrificed for other changes to be made. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge coming back, Jan Christian Dresen, who was sacked effectively by Oliver Kahn as finance director, coming back to take over from Kahn in a more important role with the blessing of Uli Hoeneß. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge coming back as well, who was never really a big fan of Hasan Salihamidžić. And I think Uli Hoeneß gave up his man in Salihamidžić to bring these other guys back because their relationship with Hasan wasn't that close. And to just finalize this, I think you can fire Oliver Kahn. Whether Jan Christian Dresen, a bit of a technocrat who, yes, has a good relationship with the fans and is liked in some quarters of the clubs, perhaps more than Kahn, whether he is that person to bring back the family vibe without any footballing background, I'm less certain. It feels more like a straw man put there by Uli Hoeneß and also Karl-Heinz Rummenigge to basically take control of the club much more, because Kahn's biggest flaw in a way was, I think, that he didn't get Uli Hoeneß so much on board with his decision-making process. He tried to run the club by himself.